Okay, welcome back to the third and final part of Ask the King for July 4th, 2013. We've got just a handful more Twitter and Facebook questions, and then we're actually going to be drawing from the stream chat the raffle people have been asking during the course of the stream, okay? So let's get this puppy finished. All right, the next question is from Panther Fan for Life, and he says, Phil, if playing video games weren't your job, would you wait to buy the new consoles, or would they be a day one purchase for you? That is an interesting question. Now, back when the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3 were released, it was more of a question for me of what was I going to play on them, because at that point I hadn't gotten back into the consoles yet. I was still into like a competitive Street Fighter player, and therefore I was like, gee, is there going to be any Street Fighter on it? And at that point Street Fighter 4 hadn't been announced, so I wasn't like excited to get the new consoles, and I actually did not get the Xbox 360 on launch. However, I was very disappointed that I didn't, because then all my friends who did were like, this is the best thing ever, you should have gotten it, you're really missing out. And I was like, oh shit, maybe I should have gotten it, to which I ended up getting it a couple months later. The PlayStation 3 I actually held off on because it was so expensive, first of all. But also because a lot of the games were cross-platform at the time. I was like, well, if I could already play Call of Duty, say, on the Xbox 360, why would I buy a PlayStation 3 to play the same game? Well, eventually, though, I realized there were some really good console exclusives, like the Uncharted series, that were on it, and I needed a Blu-ray player, and I heard that the PlayStation 3 was the best Blu-ray player on the market. In fact, I believe it continues to be. So that's eventually why I bought the PlayStation 3 a little bit late. Now, this generation, I honestly can't answer the question for you, because here's the thing. I'm speaking from a situation where this is my job, and absolutely I'm going to be getting these consoles, because it's a no-brainer. It's a business write-off for me anyway. I get the console, I'm going to do videos on it, I make money on the videos, and the console ends up being a business write-off. If I weren't doing this as a job, I have no idea what job I would be doing. If I gotten laid off in 2010 and never found another good job, maybe I wouldn't be buying the new consoles, because let's face it, can everyone afford to drop $400 and $500 for a new console, plus games, etc.? No. So I could not answer that question, because I don't know what situation I would be in if I hadn't been a gamer. But when there was a console launch last time, I was skeptical, and I did hold off a little bit before I bought the new consoles. Alright, next question. This is Tom Hazelton asks, Hey Phil, after winning Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition's tournament at SGC, do you have the urge to play competitively again? And the answer, quite frankly, is not really. Unfortunately, I just don't like, I don't like a lot of the things about the Street Fighter community. I was hoping that with this new era of, Street Fighter 4 and all these new games that it would have changed. In fact, I don't think it has. I think it's just as bad as it used to be, if not worse. I don't really want to become a part of that mainstream community anymore. So number one, that's my major detriment right there. Number one is that I just don't want to be a part of that community. Number two, I don't like the games. Like Arcade Edition, alright, it's a decent game, but there's shit in it that's broken as hell that I don't agree with. I don't agree with the input shortcuts. So there's things in the game I don't like. I absolutely hate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. There really aren't other games like Injustice. I haven't ever played it at a competitive level, but from what I'm hearing and seeing, it looks like it could be a pretty broken game at competitive levels. So if that's the case, I don't want to play that game. You know what I mean? If there were games that I wanted to play, I would have more of an incentive to go back to the competitive Street Fighter community, but I really don't like any of the games. Arcade Edition is okay, but I don't want to put up with this stupid, oh, look, I beat you because I mashed a fucking corner of my joystick and a Dragon Punch came out, and after that, I got a 50% combo. It's like, give me a fucking break. They've really dumbed down these games to the point where, because they want to sell so many copies, that the games aren't good at a competitive level anymore, and regardless of the fact, oh, well, EVO still goes on, there's still thousands of people playing them, it doesn't mean the games are good. It just means that people think that there's some cool celebrity lifestyle because you're a competitive Street Fighter player, and that's why they've gotten into them, not because the games are actually good. I don't like the current games, and I really have no desire to get back into that scene. That's the bottom line. Okay. I got two more questions, and that's it. And then we're going to go to the poll questions, okay? This one's from Jacob Marley. And he asks, what is your opinion of Megan Fox playing April O'Neil and Michael Bay changing Shredder's name and race in the new piece of crap Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie? I think you've literally summed up the answer in your question. It's a piece of crap Pretty much everything that Michael Bay touches now is a piece of crap. He had the Transformers franchise that he could have made epically good. He made a first movie that was kind of okay, and then ran that franchise into the fucking ground. Now he's going to take something else from my childhood and ruin it. Fuck Michael Bay. He's an asshole. I don't know why people go to see his movies, because they fucking suck dick. Don't go see the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Make it flop so that finally we can have people stop ruining the things of our childhood. That's my opinion on that. Okay. The final question is from Brian Burke. And he asks, Phil, if you had to choose 4 characters from the DC Universe to become the 4 characters for the second season of DLC for Injustice, who would they be? I personally believe that Poison Ivy would be a great addition, as well as Beast Boy. Can you imagine Beast Boy's trait enabling him to transform into a tiger or a gorilla for 10 seconds? Well, there are so many characters to choose from in the DC Universe who could be awesome DLC characters. Just off the top of my head, not even putting a lot of thought into this. Darkseid, duh. Martian Manhunter, duh. What's his name? Metallo, classic Superman villain. Brainiac. Bizarro. Bizarro could be a cool character. There's just 4. I could give you 20. I could give you 40. I could just keep going through the list of awesome DC characters. So all I have to say is this. If they really do this Season 2 of DLC for Injustice, they fucking better not put another Mortal Kombat character into the fucking game. Because no one wants it. We want DC. The name of the fucking game is Injustice Gods Among Us of DC superheroes. Not Injustice bringing characters from our other game because we think that it's a cool Easter egg. It's not. It's a waste of time and money. And honestly, I feel like I got nothing out of it. Because when you really think about it, okay, I bought the season pass for Injustice. So I paid, what was it, $15-20, and I got 4 characters. And one of them, they said, oh, the season pass you'll save because you're only paying, I think the season pass was $15, but if you bought the characters individually, they were $5 each, okay? But if I had just bought them individually, I would have spent $15 and gotten the 3 characters I wanted and would have never had to see shitty-ass Scorpion in my fucking game. So they better not waste a slot on another Mortal Kombat character. I'm going to be pissed off if they do, okay? Okay, so everyone, now for about probably 10-15 minutes, we are going to pull questions from the raffle that we've been doing during the course of the stream. So let's go ahead and do that, mods. If you could please close off the raffle, okay? And then we could start drawing. I would appreciate that. Is any of the mods here to do that? Because I don't know how to do it. Uh-oh. Alright, raffle has been closed. Very good. So now we can start drawing. Alright, the first question is from JimCom18. And he says, Phil, are you going to buy the PlayStation 4 Eye camera with your PlayStation 4 at launch? To which my honest answer is this simple. If there's a purpose to the camera in a game that I'm buying, I'll get it. But if the only purpose is bullshit, I'm not getting it. Like, what do I need a PlayStation Eye camera for? I have a PlayStation Eye camera right now on top of my TV. But since I stopped using the PS Move because no games are Move enabled anymore, what the fuck would I use the camera for? You know what I mean? So the answer is no, I'm probably not going to be buying the camera unless there's a use for it. And boy, am I happy that it's an optional thing and it doesn't get packaged in with the fucking console. Alright. Next question was from I Love Bender. And his question is, with Splinter Cell Blacklist coming out later this year, would you even consider completing your unfinished Splinter Cell Conviction playthrough to prepare for it? And the answer is probably no, because I don't think anyone wants to see that. There's very few people who at this point, 3 years later, are going to want me to go back and play the last Splinter Cell game. I was enjoying it, but unfortunately I got false copyright strikes against it, and that's actually what got my original Dark Side Phil channel shut down for a week or two. And it is unfortunate that it happened. But no, I don't have any plans to go back to the game. Alright, next question from Hunter2893. He says, what is your opinion on gaming focusing more on the post-apocalyptic and sci-fi genres? It happens. You get these periods of time where gaming focuses on things. I remember during the 80s and 90s, it was always fantasy, the knights and dragons, and a fantasy world. Every game was about that. Now you're absolutely right. Every game seems to be about zombies, and it's the post-apocalyptic world. It's always the same plot going on. I'm sure it's a fad, and eventually we're going to just move on to something else, especially now we have new consoles. You may see a new slew of games that maybe have a new theme. I don't know. But it's common that happens with games. It happens with a lot of different kinds of media, and I have no idea what the next fad will be, but I guess we'll have to see. The next question is from Sonic Wee, and he says, do you think Capcom will ever make another Mega Man game now that he's in Smash 4? I mean, I think people want another Mega Man game. I think people would love a new Mega Man game. Capcom's a bunch of assholes about it. I don't know. I mean, I hope that they do. I guess that my answer is that. I hope they do. I know it would sell and make money, but Capcom has to get their head out of their fucking asses and stop making 400 patches and expansions to their fighting games so that they can actually make another fucking game. Okay? I see we got 2 questions drawn. One was sup, which was stupid. Next one was, will you ever play Portal 2? I already did. Oh, Postal 2. I read that wrong. This guy says, is there any chance you might play Postal 2? It's the best FPS, even though it's old. Judging that you like other funny old RPGs and games like, or RPGs, FPSs and games like Deadpool, I think you'll like it. Again, it's a possibility. It's something that I'll play, but it all depends. People are going to want to see me play that game, an older game. Right now, I'm playing retro replays of some of the best games ever of the 90s, and no one's really watching Earthbound on YouTube, which is very disappointing. I really wish people would watch Earthbound on YouTube, because it's an amazing fucking game, and I'm going to keep playing it regardless of if it has views or not. Okay? Next question, please. Probably going to answer 1 or 2 more, and then we'll call it a night. From user The Amazing Frog. The question is, more Amazing Frog, the world needs it, will you do it? The answer is yes, eventually I will be doing more Amazing Frog. In fact, John Rambo and I may do more Amazing Frog this tomorrow when he's here for co-op. We'll see what happens. Alright. Okay, the next question from Immortal Phoenix. Is there a reason why you don't branch out and talk to other gamers or collaborate with them? First of all, the number one reason is because I'm not aware of all the other you say other gamers, but I've said to you guys for years now, I don't watch other people's content. The only stuff that I really know about the other people on YouTube is from you guys talking to me about them. So I would have never known who the hell Maximilian was. People didn't say, "Oh, Phil, were you aware that you played Maximilian and you're in one of his videos?" I'm like, "No, I don't know that because I don't know who he is." I would have never known who Vash was unless someone had asked me if I knew who he was, and then I learned of him. So, in that regard, I never really have an avenue to know these people. There's no YouTube gamer convention that you go to and all the YouTube gamers mingle and talk with each other. You know what I mean? That being said, I'm not against a collaboration, but it would have to be a collaboration that obviously, number one, is mutually beneficial, and number two, makes sense. Like, if I were to collaborate with Maximilian on a fighting game, it'd have to be a game that we both enjoy and that we're both playing, and that the collaboration makes it. Maybe it's a series of videos where we fight each other. I don't know what it would be. If I was to do a collaboration with Vash, I don't know what it would be. You know what I mean? With Seamus, a lot of people have asked me over the years, will I ever do anything with SSOHPKC? Because we have very similar kind of style in what we do. Number two, I wouldn't even know how to approach them. How do you talk to one of these guys? Do you send them an email? Do you PM them on YouTube? I'm sure they get hundreds of PMs like I do a day. So how do you contact these people? I don't know. Out of the history of stuff going on, I don't remember if anyone actually outright asked me to do a collaboration with them. Like I said, it's not out of the question. Could you do like a YouTube Gaming All-Stars? SSOHPKC, Vash, DSP, and maybe 1 or 2 other people, and we all do this crazy co-op gameplay. I think that would be cool. It would be amazing. It would probably be massively popular because you'd have all these fan bases who come together to watch the content, but I don't know what the hell that game would be. You know what I mean? I guess we'll have to see coming up if anyone's interested in doing anything like that. I don't know if anyone would want to collaborate or what they would want to collaborate on. All right, let's do 2 more questions. Let's do 2 more. So let's pull 2 more questions, guys. From some random dude, he says, will you be going to EVO 2013 next week? Well, let's see. I haven't talked about EVO whatsoever. I just literally said that I'm not into the competitive fighting game scene. Do you really think I'm going to EVO? So the answer obviously is no. It's not that I'll never return to EVO. In fact, I think I should at least one more time in my life attend EVO, but there'd have to be a reason for me to attend. Now, last year, they did this whole, oh, it's the Super Turbo World Championships, but it's what was it? You have to qualify to get into it, and as you know, I wasn't traveling and entering in tournaments, especially with my back. It's hard for me to travel around and enter these kind of things for tournaments. So you know, I travel very sparsely. This year, the only things I've done, I went to Texas. I drove. Well, we actually went on a train to Philadelphia, so that wasn't a big deal. I'm actually going to Chicago in 2 months, and that's pretty much the extent of the travel for the year. I'm only going to do a few things every year. So for me to be taking time out to go to qualifier tournaments to try to qualify for this All-Stars of Super Turbo tournament is preposterous. Then they did some stupid, let's do a fan vote, and Domdai wins, even though Domdai was going to go to every single qualifier tournament and win anyway, which is what he did. So it made no fucking sense. The whole thing was run like shit. So I said, even though I was interested in going to EVO last year, I totally got a bad taste in my mouth because they didn't know what the fuck they were doing with this stupid Super Turbo tournament. And I said, fuck it, I'm not going. Now, this year I hear they're not really doing anything with Super Turbo. If there ever is another event where they actually do want the All-Stars of Super Turbo to come play the game, and it's a fair event where everyone can actually be in it rather than this, you have to attend 100 qualifiers nonsense, then I'll probably go to EVO and do it. But as of right now, like I said, there's really no games at EVO that I'm interested in. I haven't played Injustice at a competitive level, so even if I played it, I probably wouldn't do well. And, you know, I just don't have any incentive or any reason to go to EVO. I don't think that it's that big of an event. If you want my opinion, everyone says, oh, it's the nationals of fighting games. Yeah, but when the fighting games are terrible, you know what I mean? You got Arcade Edition, I don't really like it. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is garbage. Mortal Kombat is garbage. Injustice, I don't know. Injustice is like the one game that's the X factor. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe next year Killer Instinct will be really good and I'll want to play that at a competitive level. I don't know. Maybe there'll be other fighting games coming out. But right now, the stuff that's out, I don't like. So why would I try to go enter tournaments? You know what I mean? So EVO is a no-go for this year. I might eventually go back, but it's definitely not this year. Okay? Alright, so I need one more question, please. This will be the final question. Oh, people are saying that a question scrolled off the screen. Who is my favorite porn star? My favorite porn star is Mandingo, because he's got a foot-long dick, and it's freakishly large, and it's just like, it's not even for the porn aspect. Just seeing that thing is like, holy fucking shit, what the fuck, that's real? And it is. It's nuts. Okay. Alright, so let's do one last question now, and then we'll end it for the night. Can we have one more drawing, please? I guess not. I guess I'm going to have to try to do it myself. I don't know how to do this. Just raffle draw. Oh, there we go. Alright. This one is from Eric2323, and he says, hey Phil, since GTA 5 is around the corner, I want to know, what are your expectations for the game? Do you think that this one will be a unique experience? Like the popular GTA titles, or do you think that, are you going to a midnight launch? Wow, that's like 1,000 questions. The bottom line is, I'm excited for GTA 5, alright? A lot of people, I don't know why, they were disappointed with Grand Theft Auto 4. I thought Grand Theft Auto 4 was outstanding. It's actually one of my favorite games of this past console generation. So, I'm very much looking forward to Grand Theft Auto 5. I have not been following along with all the information about the game, because I don't want it to be spoiled. I actually want to kind of have a fresh perspective when I play the game and not know everything about all the characters and all the gameplay before I even boot the fucking disc, okay? I am looking forward to it. I honestly don't care if they innovate as long as it's a good gripping story with fun gameplay. I don't think they need to innovate. Grand Theft Auto is a series that they don't really need to do too much differently because you could just put it in different locations with different characters and I think the game could be really good, alright? Am I going to the midnight launch? If they have one, absolutely, and I'm assuming for Grand Theft Auto they would have one. So yeah, I'll probably be going to the midnight launch, getting my collector's edition, unboxing it, and then playing the game live on stream that night. Of course, my main concern here is with stupid Rockstar, are they going to allow you to stream and do gameplay videos of the game? Because Rockstar is infamous for not letting people do it, for shutting people down who are trying to do it, which makes no fucking sense because all they're doing is promoting their fucking games. But Rockstar thinks that they're on this pedestal way above all other game developers when in reality they're not. And so they try to do copyright strikes and shit on their games when they're new. So we're going to have to see what happens with that. I may unfortunately have to end up naming it something that it's not to be able to do it. I guess we're going to have to find out what happens with that, okay? Now, I do see that there was a second question pulled, so I'll answer it very quickly. This is from Roboscosity, and he says, are you excited for Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2? Sure I am. I mean, Castlevania Lords of Shadow 1, even though it was an extremely frustrating game, I liked it. And so I'm actually looking forward to Lords of Shadow 2. I actually just recently beat Castlevania, what was the one? Lords of Shadow Mirror of Fate on the Nintendo 3DS. I really liked that game, and I don't know if it actually ties into the plot of this game coming up or not, but if it does, that'll be awesome, because now I kind of got that added story that's added to the story of Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2. So, okay, so that's it. Thank you, everybody, for joining me live on stream or for watching this on YouTube, either or. I know it went pretty long, another three-parter, but it seems like these are going to go 3 parts from now on because I do the interactive part at the end with the stream chat. Thanks for joining me on this episode of Ask the King. The next episode, I've already posted up the thread over on the King of Hate website. It's going to be on August 1st. August 1st is a Thursday, and that is the day that I'm going to be doing the next Ask the King. So it's roughly a month from now, maybe a little bit less than that, but August 1st. So post up your questions in the forums. That's how you have the highest chance of getting them answered. And, of course, we'll be doing it like this next month as well with the stream and all that. So thank you, everyone, for watching me on the stream, this episode of Ask the King. Thank you if you're watching on YouTube. Happy Independence Day to everyone in the United States of America. And be safe. Tonight, no matter what you're doing, if you're at a cookout, if you're drinking, it's fine, but be safe. Don't do anything crazy. And I will see you guys for more gameplay in the near future. Thanks a lot, everyone, and peace out. Oops. That's what I meant to click.